Searching for customers is a lot easier said than done, and even some big companies don't always get it right. You might recognize this vehicle from Honda as the Honda Element. It came out a number of years ago, and the initial market for this was someone that was young and active, someone in their 20s, maybe a skateboarder or a surfer, someone that wanted something that looked a bit out of the ordinary, someone that wanted to drive something that looked a bit unique, someone that appreciated something that was somewhat purpose-built and utilitarian. The early models of the Honda Element had a rubber interior floorboard, a mix of rubber and plastic, where you could just hose it off. You could rinse it off. So go surfing, go hiking, and get it a mess, get it full of sand, get it full of dirt, and it's easy to take care of and to clean. Also priced very competitively, very affordable, somewhat of a minivan alternative, but for a younger demographic. That was the intent. The reality is that it was a very attractive entry-level SUV for families, for mothers in many cases, that were looking for something that fit many of the benefits that a minivan would have, but was something that was a bit more youthful looking and was something that also had many of the benefits and the utility that they were looking for in a minivan or a higher priced SUV. So with this as a bit of a case study, big companies don't always get it right. Sometimes they find their way to the right customer by accident. That's not where you want to be as a startup. You generally aren't going to have the time and the budget to try this market and try that market and see what works. You increasingly have to get it right the first time. And so that's something we want to think about, of how do you search and find the right customer in the beginning. Well, there's a fishing analogy that you often hear about when you're looking at prospecting for customers. Your product is the bait, your customers are the fish. Your hypothesis is that you're going to have a certain customer type that you're going after. Your reality might be that that is right, or it's a different customer type, or it might not be anyone. But you want to know that too, even in the beginning. If you have a product that doesn't really resonate, that doesn't really solve the needs or wants of a customer, you'd rather know that in the beginning, rather than after you've spent the time and money to build a product that eventually flops. So talking to prospective customers is the right first step. It's never too early to talk about a prospective customer. Surely don't wait until you have a product to show them for them to say, no, I'm good with what I have. So throw your hook out there in the water and see what bites. You don't have to throw the product out initially because you haven't built it yet. What you're throwing out initially is to get some sense of who's interested in the problem that your product aims to solve. So in the very beginning, the phase 1 of customer interviews, you're not getting feedback on your product. You're getting feedback on your problem. You're trying to get some insight on, is the problem that you think your customer has indeed the problem they have? And how do they feel about that problem? You want to collect those insights from different people, and you begin to see some similarities on who's interested in what and for what reason, and what ideas do you have that might solve that problem for these groups of people. And that begins to be your target market as you see some coalescence of groups that have these common needs and wants.